like how you said, it's a product, and every product needs to be marketed well. No
Mhm.
matter how good the product is, if it doesn't reach the market, it doesn't reach the audience, I think the whole process is incomplete.
When we say publicity design, a film is a very complex product.
Right.
Uh, Whatever the film is already communicating, and you are supposed to communicate this product which is already communicating. You know,
Right. Yes.
so where do you begin? I mean, what is the brief? When you take the brief from the director or you watch the film, what is the methodology? How do you go about it?
See, like how you said, it's a product, and every product needs to be marketed well. No
Mhm.
matter how good the product is, if it doesn't reach the market, it doesn't reach the audience, I think the whole process is incomplete. So different films, like we work on films at different stages. Like we have people coming in at a stage where they just have a a seed of an idea. The script is also not ready. They so to excite the writers, to excite probably actors, many times directors, they would say, okay, let's put all this into a visual format, let's make a poster.
Mhm.
So it becomes more tangible for everybody. So if you are explaining something, but instead of that, if you're showing something, so
People are
already
able to
the,
relate.
yes, people relate to it. So we have
Mhm.
worked on projects which have started at that stage to a situation where the film is to be released in next 1.5 2 months, and you are in a rush and you need to come out with a publicity poster. So the range is that big. But
Mhm.
mostly, if you ask me, so while the film is on the floor, that time, or just when it has gotten over with the shoot, that is when we get into it mostly, largely. Otherwise, the range is like how I
When
told
we
you.
when we say publicity, film publicity design,
Right.
what does it include? Does it include only the poster design or all kinds of communications?
See, right now, if you ask the beginning, so we kind of specialize in print design. So we don't do promos or any other kind of publicity that's involved. So our work starts with the posters with one look. Okay, but
Mhm.
then that gets extended into various forms once the main look is done. So from that, the byproduct could be a hoarding. Now with social media being very big, so it's the social media posts, or to excite people, it could be made into a motion poster. Earlier on, there were a lot of other, so it could be billboard. So the manifestation could be many, but you begin with the main idea, like a main poster, that you decide you want to do two, three, four posters. And so nowadays it's lot of social media. But earlier, when I had started working, there used to be brochures, with the songs
Mhm.
and a synopsis,
Mhm.
character
Mhm.
sketches. So that kind of, then we used to do photo sets, which we don't do anymore. So photo sets are those
Mhm.
you know um,
Gallery cards.
yes, cards which you used to see in theaters. So those
Mhm.
have kind of disappeared in last few years. So
Mhm.
now I think mostly you see outdoor social media has kind of taken over a big time.
Right.
So
So coming back to your films that you have done, for example, Kal Ho Na Ho.
right.
Today, when you look back, it is an iconic film. You know,
Right.
and when you began, I'm sure it must have been a very ordinary, okay, a Shah Rukh Khan film, but a typical piece of Bollywood.
Right.
You know, uh, was there? Let's begin with an example. What was a brief when you designed that poster? Is there something that you will show us, or take us back in time and tell us what happened then?
Yes. So, Kal Ho was my first independent film. So I was also wanting to do newer things. As a fresh graduate, you want, as a design graduate, you really want to, put in use what you have learned and do things differently. And very thankfully, Dharma Production and Nikhil Advani both, they were very very open to the ideas that I was trying to share with them and work on them. So, and
Hmm.
the film was also had a very the flavor of the film was also, I wouldn't say western, but the aesthetics was very neat, clean kind of an aesthetics. So I remember Nikhil telling me that he wanted it to look very neat, almost like an like I still remember he had mentioned Gap advertising. Okay, advertisement. So I had kept that in mind, and we tried out a lot of like at that point of time, you wouldn't see too many posters with absolutely white background and stark, very graphic looking posters. So we tried that out, and he was both like they were very open to it. And at that point of time, I think it looked quite different from what was happening at that point of time. So yeah,
Okay. So, no, those posters are still available on the internet, and one
yes,
gets a feeling. I mean, the posters do communicate, and then when you come down to Rang De Basanti, it was a totally different
yes,
film, And
yes,
as you spoke about, there were two different target audiences when the film went to Cannes Film Festival. The communication brief was different. When released in India, the
yes.
brief was
Let me tell you one more thing. So
different.
right now, if I talk about Rang De Basanti, if you do you there's one poster I think which gets like printed everywhere, which is the like the boys jumping, the back of the boys.
Mhm.
At
Mhm.
that point of time, we had made that poster, and as far as I remember, those posters were sent back by the distributors because there was Amir Khan in it with the others, and their faces were not showing.
Mhm.
So they were all sent back, but I think later it was used in very few places. But now, if you look back at it, that poster has become the poster by which the film is being represented everywhere.